Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do narrations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, so next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi. Only link left. Chapter 3. Pull of Light. Having possibly just pushed her bike to its limits, thus models to release the throttle to begin strolling. It was the worst that it frustrated her so much. Even if nothing could ever truly compare to the sensation of rapidly bouncing through time and space, she hadn't time traveled in over a year. And mainly because of a promise she made to her moms. She's sure she wouldn't seek that ultimate thrill unless absolutely necessary. Though the urge was always there, the speed of a motorcycle was sacrificed for now, and Des loved taking joyrides on her bike more than anything. The fat 2-mile stretch was coming to an end, and a soft curve quickly approached. She returned to a much safer speed within 10 miles per hour of the limit and rounded the bend, closely hugging the near corner when she downshifted. A metallic grinding noise she never heard before seemed to come from the engine area. It wasn't overly noticeable, but having become somewhat of an expert during the past year, she could tell something wasn't quite right. Oh, great! She fussily complained to herself, pushing back a beckoning wave of panic. The university was only a few miles away, so she put off assisting exams until she was nearer her destination. The problem, thankfully, didn't seem to impact the remainder of the ride. Whatever the issue was, just didn't think it was necessary or urgent. At least not yet. As she coasted down the hill that led to Center Campus, she noticed less students milling around than the last time she was in the area. It being Sunday and non-class day would most likely explain the lack of activity. The recreations complex and student center were on her right, and a series of fields and other sports activity spaces, including the track, were on her left. The dormitories and on-campus apartments were most students called home during the semester. Could be seen from Des's location in the distant past the track and fields. A special, more athletic dome was offset and placed further up the hill than the rest of the buildings. She pulled into a smaller parking lot beside the track and prepped her bike on its kickstand. A team of athletes were on the opposite side of the chain link fence that separated the forts for purposes from the surface lots. The group was stressing, jogging, and apparently having a late afternoon practice. None seeming to pay any attention to Des and her bike. Even if they did notice her, she was college age and would easily blend in with everyone else. Des hopped off and unbuttoned her black leather jacket, allowing the cool breeze to sweep through her clothing and softly graze the sand that had been covered during her trip. She crouched down and began to tinker with the inner workings of her vehicle. Many of the metal parts were hot, but she knew a lot about bikes would be able to check the potential trouble areas without suffocating herself in the progress. In her mind, she went through a checklist of the most common issues she could envision. After everything checked out, she started imagining the not-so-common problems that could result in the creaking sounds she heard several moments prior. Destiny? A strange, young, slightly familiar voice called out from behind her towards the track and field. Beyond the fence. Is that you? The biker stood from a bent-down position and stared in opposite direction for a moment. Her mind began jumping from one face to another, attempting to place the voice with its owner. She figured she only knew two people who would have recognized her on campus, and Kate and Victoria didn't sound anything like the girl had just spoken. It wasn't as soft and unassuming as Kate, and it wasn't as direct and judgmental as Victoria. The voice that called out to her was somewhere in between. It was gentle but firm. It is you! The girl's voice grew louder, as she must have been shortening the distance between them. Shit! The biker whispered to herself, not wanting to deal with whatever was about to happen. She wasn't a fan of forced conversation. And didn't we enjoy chatting just for the sake of socializing? In the past, her mom was open about her social anxiety issues, and just assumed this is how she must have felt when she was younger. Slowly turning to face the individual, the bond was honest by who she saw. Her heart frittered and jumped, causing her breathing to slightly hiss. She felt her eyes opening wide with wonder. A glorious, dark-haired athlete wearing workout clothes and running shoes was on the other side of the fence, staring in her direction. Her creamy skin was glistening in the late afternoon sun, and a reflection from the early spring sky simmered off the wet in her light brown irises. The girl had her hands behind her head, adjusting her hair tie and pulling the loose strands back into a ponytail. Destiny Caulfield Price. Only person I know with a hyphenate last name. God, it's been what? 3 years? Like a weirdest awakening, it suddenly dawned on the bond who was standing before her. Paul? That be me. The girl in running and tighter responded with a tiny giggle. In reality, she was closer to Dessa's younger mother in height, but dominating way she holds herself. Paul seemed like a giant. I haven't seen you since high school. Damn, you're this glorious. Her eyes were standing dead from head to toe. Well, she paused and lowered her arms, smoothing the wrinkles in her tights. You were always beautiful, but now? Like, damn, did you sell your soul to the devil for some sort of badass glow-up? 1,000 thoughts were colliding with one another in Dessa's mind, none seeming to materialize coherently enough to speak aloud. But once he remembered, Paul was always outgoing and chatty when they were in high school. It felt nice having the brunettes attention focus on her. Realizing her gaze was fixed on Paul for several moments, the colored girl knew she needed to respond. She definitely hoped she looked less like a fool than she felt. What? Aw, it's Destiny really bustling. Damn, you're so cute. Anyway, what are you doing on campus? I thought you were like in a band or something. I know you used to play guitar. Oh, well, my mom asked me to pick something up from Professor Morris. I guess I'm like her delivery girl. Just call me Destiny Prime. You know, like Amazon Prime. Never mind. Destiny regretted every word she just said. I love Professor Morris. See my psychology teacher. I'm taking one elective course before focusing on my last major classes and capstone project in the spring. By the way, your bite is pretty rad. Dust chuckled herself. Who says rad anymore? She folded her arms at her chest and took a small step backward. She felt the warmth in her cheeks starting to cool. A small budding confidence surfacing. Me? Paul assertively responded, an impish smirk on her face. I say, Wad, you got a problem with that? The brunette stepped closer, gripping the top of the fence and leaning forward. Above her oval-shaped eyes, two purpley framed eyebrows were lowered, filtering an air that was clearly not really there. Look, I do, as a matter of fact. Despite having an urge to run away and hide, Dust pushed those thoughts aside, beginning to feel slightly more at ease around Paul. In high school, you were like one of the, I don't know, suck-up popper girls. Dust returned a mysterious smirk on her of her own. And in a way, the banter reminded her of how her moms acted around one another when they were playing around and giving each other shit. Suck up. Ouch. Paul lifted her cheek and pivoted her hips. Maybe not suck up, but like, everyone loved you. You were way too proper for me to ever speak to you. Me? What about you? Keeping to yourself? Looking all badass all the time? I gotta be honest, Destiny. You felt too rad for me. She was fainter close with a fun-loving tilt of her head and grin. I thought I probably would have cramped your sidle anyway. It's not like you were really impossible, you know. Super dark and mysterious. Mysterious? Des wondered. Oh, damn! I still don't know how you pulled off that senior prank. Everyone knew it was you, but there wasn't any evidence. I always wanted to ask you about that. No idea what you're talking about. Des smiled, then looked down at her feet. Ha! Paul bolted out. Bullshit. The blonde looked up and into Paul's eyes, and then shrugged, a goofy grin on her face. I do not believe you. Maybe it's because you literally told Vice Principal Calvin to go fuck himself at the school cemetery. Then, the next day, 500 plastic force was stuck in the football field. I saw the video, Destiny. The field was clear, then a second later, it was filled with forks. That's a crazy dick you did there. Nothing you somehow tampered with the video. Otherwise, it would mean you literally either the flash or you can, like, free time or something. And that's impossible. That's quickly fixated on the words, freeze time. But really she was just being overly cautious. She took a step back closer towards the fence, never leaving eye contact with the girl on the other side. A strange sense of awareness filled her heart, and she could almost feel the pale souls in a childlike state, tucking the other to come closer and play. Paul must have felt it too, because he nervously withdrew, twisting her head around and gazing towards her teammates with an awkward look in her eyes. She brushed her brains out of her face and turned back towards the fence. Unfortunately, I gotta get back to classes. But it's really good to see you, Destiny. Her voice suddenly sounded small and inviting. Oh! The laughing seemed to have remembered something. Can I paint you? What? Paint me? Yes! Please, Destiny. I paint my portrait. It's like my creative outlet or whatever. I love to do you next. Here. Pulsated on with an upward-facing palm. Give me your phone. Oh, that's right. I think I remember hearing that you love to paint or whatever. But, my phone? Why? Dust's voice stuttered a bit. Yes, silly. How the heck are you gonna save my number? Now, you can let me know when you're ready to be painted. I must warn you, though. I'm pretty dang good. It's just a hobby now. But I've been told I should sell my portraits. I don't know about all of that. I just love to create art. And your beauty deserves to be on my campus. Beauty? If you say so. Just nervously rambled through the joke in her jacket pocket. Finally locating her phone. She had it to her face so it would unlock. Then she handed it to Paul. She shrugged and looked back down at her feet. Once slowly nosing it walked from side to side. Look, I saw you the one I just did of myself. Paul spoke as she typed. Then decide if you do me dishonor. I'm getting pretty good at it. It really won't take longer than an hour or so. I have class or practice or both basically every day, but we sell when we find a good time. Dust worked on and off for her mom for many years. As far back as she could remember, photography was a big part of their family. She definitely enjoyed the art form, but never had quite the burning passions her mom did. So we Paul talked about painting, it made the bond smile. Recognizing the girl's enthusiasm. We see back out across the field, the brunette Melson for Dust to reclaim her phone. There you go. I really hope you call a text. It was nice seeing you, Destiny Caulfield Price. Yeah, nice seeing you too, Paul Fakes. That creep bobbed her head and casually tucked another loose strand of hair behind her ear. She turned and jogged back towards the grill pool with still stressing and running drills in the center grassy portion of the field. Dust watched and admired the girl as she departed. She thought she noticed Paul look back as well, but she wasn't sure. When she realized he was still staring, she napped herself out of it and headed back towards the bite. Paul. She withered out of earshot. Several indescribable emotions were flowing through her body. Mostly pleasant, her heart was still racing, and she felt like she might have just discovered a west that was more enjoyable than riding her bike. She wants to paint me? It's kind of weird. In an attempt to shake off what had just happened, Dust began focusing on her chest. She left her bike and started for the main cluster of classroom buildings near the food court and other student eateries. She trotted up the large stairs that led to the sorority building and stand the side of the structure from bottom to top. It didn't matter how many times she was on the university property. She marveled at the large stone columns and archways, with the substance of the newer addition of the perimeters, the parking decks, and the new athletic dorm. The building design looked to have come directly from ancient Rome. They tugged the left side of large double doors, pulling them apart in the center. The copper handle was cool and thick. She could barely wrap her hands around it. Once inside, she walked up to the small information desk, Penny asked for Professor Moss's office. She'd been on campus several times before, but had never been in that particular building. As he was speaking to the administration assistant, she heard a excited yet soft voice behind her. "Hey, Des!" The blonde stopped mid-sentence and turned to face the voice she clearly recognized as Kate's. "Hi, Professor Morse." She hadn't seen Kate with her hair up since hers and Victoria's wedding. Most of the time, Des was only around her when she wasn't at the university. It felt nostalgic seeing her in business-like conversational attire again. Kate pulled Des in a hug, then stepped back. "Professor Morse, are we past being so popular around each other at this point?" "Yeah, I guess so. My mom's told me to say it. I don't know." Des pursed her lips and cut her eyes to the side. "Well, that's sweet of them. I guess they felt like it was a respectful thing to say, but yeah, I prefer you just call me Kate, if that's okay. You're not in one of my classes, are you?" Kate smiled, seeing Des had a conversation about her lack of interest in AmberAnkNA the last time she was at the house. "Nah, the college thing just isn't me, but I call you whatever you want, Kate." The professor smiled and placed a hand on the young adult's shoulder. "Max texted me that you were coming. I'm not too sure what Corey wants with this recording, but come with me and I get it for you. It's upstairs in my office." Kate turned to head for an adjacent staircase. Des followed behind and the two began ascending. A large stained glass window cast a long, abstract shapes across the hallway and stairway, causing the pale skin to brilliantly simulate each step. After reaching the top, they made their way down the lengthy corridor towards the back darker area of the building, stopping in front of the second-to-last door on the right. "Here we go," Kate slowly stated, swiping her ID card and twisting the oval wub bronze door handle downward. "It's somewhere on my desk." She entered the office and flipped the light switch on. It didn't turn on the overhead lighting as Des suspected, but a scientific floor lamp with two shades and bulbs was dumpty lit in the room. Bulbs dumpty lit the room. "You don't use the office lights?" Des wondered as she looked up at the fritters after stripping her bangs from her eyes. Kate shook her head. "Not usually. As soon as it requests more lighting, I have a switch on the back wall that turned them on." She pointed to the panel behind that window that Des didn't notice previously. "For as much money as the university has, they won't get rid of these harmful fluorescents. They give me a pretty bad headache, so I brought my own lamp." "Ah, gotcha." Dust stained the walls to her left and right as he waited, while the professor rambled through sacks of paper and other quarters items on her desk, and a large selfie photo of her wife with sunglasses on and her tongue sticking out, hung on the white wall. It was bordered by a thick, if elegant frame that must have been chosen by Victoria. She wore a black and white striped swimsuit and an oversized sun hat, clearly having a good time on the beach. Des felt it was ironic as he recalled a story about Victoria making fun of masks because of her affinity for selfies many years prior. "So," Des began, as he nodded towards the picture, "you and Victoria. How did that even happen? She was like your boy in high school, right?" Just curious. It took a moment for Kate to respond. "Here it is," she finally said. "Tell Chloe not to remove the tape. She can rewind and fast forward, but if she takes the tape out, it's Blake. Trust me, I almost ruined it earlier." Will do, Professor. Bloody brilliant. Thus used her best British accent, failing miserably and causing the women behind the desk to giggle. To blow away face from your mom? Wowzer. That was pretty bad. Des. Kate shook her head, but a treachery grin stretched across her face from ear to ear. Yeah, well, figured I'd try and do my best Harry Potter accent. Oh well. She shrugged and reached for the small handheld tape recorder that was just provided. Once in her grasp, she tucked it into an interior pocket inside her back jacket. As she was turning around from the spot where she was standing, heading for the door, she realized the woman almost successfully deflected Dus's question, causing her to forget she even asked it. Wait, Dust admit it, Kate. I want to know, how did you and Victoria get past your baggage and, fall in love? You two could be the greatest enemies to lovers couple of all time. Again, Kate giggled, covering her mouth with both hands this time. Well, yeah, baggage is probably the best way to describe it. I don't know how much time you have, but the whole thing would be a really lengthy conversation. Let us say we bring balance to each other, and it took working through our past to figure everything out. After going through the high school bullcrap, we realized how much we meant to one another. The woman smiled as thoughts of her wife must have been bubbling up inside her head. After a brief pause, Case's heartfelt grin tore downward, saving the sour a bit. Because the storm had destroyed most of Acacia Bay, we first bonded over our losses. For Vic, she lost family and friends. Even had to take over her parents' gallery when she was way too young. For me, I lost friends, but my parents and sisters were safe, so we grasped town before the storm steamrolled everything. For both of us, the girls were way back then were dead and gone. We changed so much from those crappy high school days to when we fell in love. It's hard to describe, but every time I look at her, all I see is light. She emulates my world now, Des. That's beautiful, Kate. Des responded, a serious inflection in her words. I never knew you were such a musty group. Ha ha! Kate let out an abrupt laugh, suffering to fight back tears. I know how it must look to those on the outside, but she's so sweet and tender towards me. I know she loves me so much. Damn. Des bravely spun around, strolling towards the door with one hand on the handle. She pivoted on her torso, again making eye contact with the woman. Thanks, Kate. It means a lot that you open up to me like that. Anytime, Des. Also, tell your moms to call me. Kate folded her arms and lowered her eyebrows. We haven't had a proper dinner or tea together in months. Will do. Des smirked. See you, Professor. She opened the door and began the small track back to her bike. Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA 2000 again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!